Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm going to be showing you my nail art sticker and charm collection. So this video is a long time coming because several months ago when I did my updated nail desk tour video, I briefly showed where I keep my nail art charms, which are in like a pull-out drawer on my desk, and then my stickers are in a box on top of one of my Helmers, and I just admittedly never really reach for them, but they are really pretty and super cute, and I did get a couple of comments saying that they would like to see that, so I figured it would be a fun little video to just go through my collection, see what I have, what I've worn or used before. Just as a general disclaimer, I did receive the majority of everything that I'm sharing today in PR over the years, and a number of the things aren't available anymore. I occasionally get comments on videos like this where I'm talking about things from my collection where people might seem upset because I'm sharing things that are like discontinued, but the whole point is that I'm sharing from my collection. So while I do understand the frustration over some of these things not being around anymore, I still hope that you'll enjoy them. So yeah, for now, let's just get into my collection. Okay, so starting with the nail art stickers, you can see I have a ton here, and the bulk of them are from Deco Miami back here, so we will save those. I guess starting with this front one, this is the Mooncat Alice in Wonderland sticker sheet. There were a few others that came out, like the Hocus Pocus set, which I do still have, but it's in the like box set in the closet, and I just didn't want to go get it. But this is the Alice in Wonderland one, and it is super cute. I loved the little designs that were on this. I obviously used some of the stickers for the nail art look that I created, but they're just like very basic, you know, with the little, what do you call these, like the card suits or something, and then little motifs from the movie, and then of course like cute little stars and sparkles and little bubbles, which I honestly kind of wish there were more of. Just thought there were like more of certain of these like motifs, like the little stopwatch and the key, the Cheshire cat. I feel like it's just a lot of sparkles, which, you know, I mean, I still do like, but yeah. And I have a few sheets from Cirque, and I believe these are in order from when they launched, and they were from last year. Cirque was doing this thing with every collection. They came out with some sticker sheets, and that only lasted for, I want to say, like half of the year or so. And I don't remember if at the time the sticker sheets were also sold individually or you can only get them as part of the collection. I imagine you could get them separate, but I just don't really remember. But these first ones actually came out with last year's Lunar New Year polish, which I believe was Lucky Jelly. Maybe I'm misremembering, but either way, these were just the cutest like holographic purple zodiac kind of stickers, or I guess Chinese New Year symbols with, like, you know, the different animals. Some of the stickers are just gold here, and then these are some flowers and the fruits, which I think were definitely the best ones. They just look so cute. Like, I love the apples, the pears, the orange slices specifically, but honestly these tiny little oranges are so cute, and even the pomegranates, but like we only have 2 of them, right? So it pains me that there weren't more of them, but I mean, I get it, because it's like you want to have as many like designs and whatnot as you can. But yeah, these were really pretty, and I just love doing this. And I know it would be fun doing it on your nail, but then eventually I would have to take it off, and yeah, I would just rather be entertained by looking at the actual sticker sheets. Next one came out with the Gourmand collection, which had the 3 jellies, ube, saffron, and rosewater jelly. Generally really love that collection, and I really loved this sticker sheet. You can see that, I think, well, at least it seems like it to me, No, yeah, definitely that there's a lot more stickers in this sheet than there were in their very first one. A decent variety for sure, but then there's also a lot of repeats, which I don't mind since, you know, I like having more of. Like the strawberries, you can see there's like a few pairs, but then the figs, again, there's only 2 of them, and it's just like, I want more. Because realistically, how would you use 2 stickers on a manicure, especially if you're doing both hands? You would have to split it, like 1 fig per hand. That's just kind of sad. But yeah, obviously I still think these are just so freaking adorable. Like the little avocados, oh my god, adorable. The donuts, the, I'm assuming strawberry shortcake, the little coconut kind of drink, the cheese, just so freaking cute. Then we have the stickers that came out with the Vice collection last year, and these were interesting. I guess they could fit with the Vice theme where, you know, they're just neons, and having these more like sketchy, almost graffiti-esque type of designs would really pop against neon creams. But yeah, generally not my favorite sheet that they did. Not that it really matters since, you know, I wasn't wearing any of them, but I feel like the standouts on this sheet are like the wavy kind of smiley faces and the little sticking your tongue out, almost like Rolling Stones-esque mouth here. And also this one, I feel like this phase is just so fun, and I kind of just wish there were more of them. But the other designs just don't really do it for me. Maybe this little guy here in the middle, he's kind of cute. And lastly are the Kelli Marissa collection sticker sheets, which were Vegas themed. Obviously have like the deck of cards at the top. We have some dice, sparkles, flamingos, magic 8 balls, and you can probably tell again that these were more similar to the first sheet compared to the other 2 where there's just less of them. I mean, I never counted them, but I'm assuming because of how organized these are than these, that there's just less. Yeah, again, you know, pretty cute. I'm just kind of surprised that they committed to having 2 full sets of dye, because I don't know, I think I would have preferred having maybe more cherries or like more of these little guys. Like, this is just a lot of dye, you know? Still cute though, definitely fits the Vegas theme. Now we are moving on to the Deco Miami, or I guess now Deco Beauty sticker sheets. I have a decent number of them, and I had more, but honestly I received like a lot of duplicates in PR, so I like gave a lot of them away. This first sheet is called Stay Groovy, and it's definitely one of my favorites, even though, you know, it's barely used, but I just especially love the little daisy flowers. You might remember me including them in, it was maybe my April picks, where daisy is the birth flower for that month. I mentioned in that video that I normally just personally love painting daisies, but you know, sometimes they can be annoying, especially if you want a lot of them on your nails, so having some stickers makes that so easy. But I also love the little rainbows, the stars, the happy faces. The butterflies are the other favorites here. I think they're just so freaking cute, especially the white ones with the gold metallic kind of accents. I think that's just so fun. This row of rainbows is also so adorable, but again, I just could not bring myself to use them because I just love how this looks. This next one, I actually don't know the name. It just says one sticker sheet here, but if it has a name on the website, I will include it. But this one is also another super cute one. It's just a lot more like playful, kind of giving me Y2K vibes, probably because of the little like troll dolls, which I guess maybe were more like 90s than anything. But I don't know, there's just something so nostalgic about these types of designs. And with Deco Miami, even with Cirque, I didn't mention it, but their stickers are really, really nice, where they just lay super flat on your nail. You like barely get that sort of weird outline that you normally get with other stickers. I do think it's a lot better with Deco though. Maybe some of Cirque's designs have a little bit of that like outline. They're both really long wearing and don't like lift up at all, especially, you know, if you're using top coat, which you should be. But yeah, these are super super cute. Obviously my favorites from here are the little peaches, the sushi rolls, which I honestly wish there was like another roll of. These cherries are also super cute, and again, just like a fan of the rainbow designs, especially these ones being like the half rainbows, and also especially love the strawberries. And another sheet that I think is so adorable is this one that again doesn't have a name, but I love this one because it has like the little Lucky Charm marshmallows on here, and again just more rainbows. I like this top one more without the metallic effect, but it's nice to have both. There's also a lot of cute little clouds and little crescent moons too, but then also like a random assortment of animals like seahorses and lobsters and penguins, orcas. Like I never would have guessed that I would want these on a sticker sheet, but I'm not too mad at it. But yeah, the standout for me are definitely like the clouds, the marshmallows, the colorful stars, even these like sparkly kind of stars because they look like the emoji, which I love to use. I almost forgot this one. This I don't also know the name of, but it's another super fun one that has a lot of like eyes. Favorites are the ones that are closed because they could either look like, you know, they're winking or sleeping or something. This one's in the middle freaked me out at first, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, it reminds me of like when you do the emoji with the eyes and the lips in the middle, and it's just so funny to me. Yeah, you can see we have another repeat of the designs that I just talked about with like the clouds and the crescent moons. There's definitely a lot more of those here. Really love the little gold outline for the stars in the top here. It's just so colorful, so cute. I feel like it gives a slumber party kind of vibes, maybe in a way. Maybe like a lot more creepy because of all the eyes, but still cute. Lastly, I have some of the holiday sticker sheets. So starting with the spooky one, this is definitely such a great one. Of our little lips with the fangs, some crescent moons, stars, sparkles, ghosts, pumpkins, black cats, which I think are easily like my favorite part of this sticker sheet. Spiders and spider webs are also really cool, and I also love the bats down here. They are just like so tiny and so cute. Like, so see my thumb here for reference, and even my pinky nail, actually that's probably a better example because of how small it is. Maybe the spider webs would kind of have a hard time fitting, or it would like take up the majority of my nail, but the other designs definitely can fit on your nail really well. Yeah, these are just so fun. And the last three that I have are for the winter holiday season. This one is called Nutcracker, and I really love this one because it had these green pears, which I normally wouldn't consider, you know, very winter, but then I guess there's that one song with like the partridge in a pear tree. I have some golden metallic pears up here, which are just so like classy and elegant. Obviously a couple of nutcrackers, some drums, a lot of snowflakes, the French horns. Even these like little stamps and stuff, they're just so cool. Ones that I'm missing from here are just more of like this kind of design where it's like a leafy little vine. There's also these like little kind of holly berries, which I love. Some Fair Isle print in the middle. Just such a classy, cute winter moment. Next one is Wonderland, and this one is a lot more like colorful and fun. There's a lot of like gingerbread houses and decorations. Colorful candy canes and peppermint swirls are so cute, but I feel like my favorite are just the lights here. Okay, so hopefully you can see that a little bit better, that these are raised, and this is all one long sticker, so you can just kind of snip it to your desired length, which I think is interesting and fun. There is another one at the top here, a couple of like simple Nordic type of trees. But I would say my favorite is the Deco the Halls sheet, because this one, oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. But my favorite part about it are the cardinals up here. Ryan and I's high school mascot is the cardinal. It's like our hometown bird or whatever, and we just really love cardinals, and I just love the sheets. They're just so cute. They're pretty small too, so even like, you know, on my pinky I could fit one. And I love that they're kind of paired with these like holly branches or leaves or whatever, because you can kind of like frame the bird in a way. And then there's a few more little holly berries here with, again, that same kind of like raised detail effect as the Christmas lights. And this one just has some cute like gingerbread, the classic candy cane and peppermint swirl colors, a couple of bows, some snowflakes. I feel like this one is just such a solid, like it has a little bit of everything. Hopefully you can understand why I just love looking at the sheet like in its entirety. I just think it's so pretty. And lastly, I do have one more deco sheet that I don't know if I'm really technically allowed to share. I imagine not many people are going to be watching this video, so why not? I say that I don't know if I'm allowed to share it because this was part of a collab that I just never remember seeing come out. So maybe you've seen this before, maybe you haven't, but it's basically a zodiac sheet that just has a lot of like gold with a little, you know, some pops of color here and there. We have a lot of the glyphs, the constellations, stars and moons, other kind of like gems, which I'm not sure if they're supposed to be the birthstones, but I can like kind of see that working. So, you know, kind of like a cute design. I mean, I generally am into astrology, so I really like these. And while it would be fun in theory to do like a nail art look for each sign and incorporate some of these stickers, at the end of the day, I just love looking at this as a whole sheet. So yeah. Now moving on to the charms, as you can see, I have a lot and there's still a few more off camera. These are the ones that I have from Cirque, obviously, if you couldn't tell from the label. And I guess I'll kind of go through them in like color order. So starting with the gold charms, the first one that I have are the celestial charms, which, you know, say gold because they also come in silver. And Cirque's charms come in these little like twist off type of containers. They all have this kind of plastic cover to keep the charms in here. And I also, whenever I do use charms, I would use their little like wax tip kind of tool. The other side has a much finer kind of dotting tool, which, you know, I need to clean. It's mainly used for like adjusting the little charms around on your nail, but this is what you would use to sort of like pick them up and then put them down. Yeah, this one is just a beautiful mix of little crescent moons and stars and these tiny little like beads. So definitely living up to the name of, you know, being just these celestial charms. I would say, even though again, it's been a hot minute since I've used any of these, I definitely do love just like this style of the crescent moons and the stars. I would say this is probably one of like my top favorite charms from them. They have the Starry night charms, and again, these are the gold ones. And these are kind of similar to the last ones because they do have stars and like little studs, but as I'm sure you can see, the main difference here with the stars are that they're kind of these like outlined shape, and there's a few of these kind of like bigger sort of stud pieces. You can see this one's kind of like the one, well, I guess it's not really an emoji, but it's just like a giant sort of sparkle, and it does raise up a little bit. So because of how long it is, it could potentially like lift off of your nail, especially if you're placing it like, you know, on the sides, especially if you have very like sharp C curves, but still a cute little charm for sure. Negative space stars I think are really cute too because they almost have this like chunky kind of look to them, which I just love. I think are a little bit flatter as well, but because of like how wide they are, they still, you know, have the potential to lift on the corners. They really are cute, but I think I just prefer the stars that are in these where they're like a little bit more raised, but I think it just depends on if you want something that's like flatter on your nail or more raised. And lastly, we have the Coquille charms, which are basically my second favorite because these are seashells and little like half pearl shapes. There's also these like really tiny, not exactly sand dollar because you don't see like the pattern on them, but I feel like they can pass for being a sand dollar, you know? Yeah, I just think these are so pretty. I mean, obviously some of these are pretty big. Let me see if I can like take off these to grab the one I'm talking about. Maybe it looks bigger than it is, but No, it is kind of big. Still love it. I feel like these little seashells are just so fun for beachy, summery designs. And there is like a mix of the shelves too, where some of them are a little bit larger. I'm like trying to place them on my nail for reference, but I don't have like a, you know, sticky top coat or something right now. So apologies if they slide off. See, like they're just so cute. Like the big one, you know, maybe is good for a thumbnail, but I love the little ones here. And then again, like the little pearls, they're just so pretty, so fun for summer. Again, I just really prefer the gold. I don't know, it just looks nicer in my opinion, but they do have the same exact charms in silver as well. So if you wanted the celestial charms that has like, you know, the half moons, the stars, the little tiny studs, they have them in silver too, which honestly, I think these are also really nice. This is probably going to be my favorite out of the three, being in silver. This would probably look really beautiful over like a navy blue cream or something. Like I mentioned, the Starry Night ones aren't really my favorite just because I prefer the more filled in stars, but you know, they still can be cute. And then there's the seashell ones in silver, which this one looks, I was gonna say looks like a little tarnished, but it's like the inside, so I don't know, we can just keep it in there for now. But yeah, cute, you know, you have options. Then I have a couple of the more colorful charms, starting with the Razzle Dazzle Rhinestones, which I feel like came out more recently. I'm not really sure how I would describe these other than just being very small, like rhinestones. As you can see, they are very twinkly, almost giving off this like holographic effect, which I think is super beautiful. And there's definitely a lot of them in here too. And I believe they're all the same size, so it would be really satisfying to do like a completely studded kind of nail, but I do not have the patience for that. I would just reserve these for doing like, you know, maybe a couple on the nail or just like one at the base, just for a little bit of extra sparkle, because these are definitely very sparkly. Next we have the most recent. These are the birthday bubble rhinestones. These were a part of a gift with purchase if you spent a certain amount during Cirque's birthday sale. And oh my gosh, I can't get this open. These are basically like the half pearl shape, but they just have a white background with a little bit of like a blue sort of iridescent look. So they kind of look like soapy bubbles in a way. I feel like these do have the potential to be cute, but I don't know if I love the white background because I feel like the blue is just kind of hard to see. I mean, it's definitely easier to see it like in motion. I think I almost wish that the bubbles were more clear or translucent instead of having like that white backing, because I feel like it would have made the blue stand out more, but I don't know if that's even possible. Next we have the Milky Opals, and these are some more kind of half dome shaped charms. So actually, I guess they are like a little faceted. I don't know if you can kind of tell that they have like flat tops. So they're almost shaped like the rhinestones, but these have a little bit more of like an iridescent kind of look to them. They're mainly in this light blue and lilac kind of color. So they're definitely really cute, very opalescent, fairy vibes for sure. I do like that the blue ones remind me of aquamarine, and the pink ones sort of give me like pink tourmaline vibes, which I just love those birthstones. So yeah, these are really pretty, very dainty. And then we have the Enchanted pearls, and these I think are more of the actual half dome shaped, so they're like smoother because they are white pearls and black pearls. They're definitely also super gorgeous. I'm just a fan of pearls, again, even though I don't really use them, but I feel like they just are so classy looking. I think because like these white pearls, like, you know, they have that white color to them. I think that's why I wished the birthday bubble rhinestones were not white, because they just kind of look like pearls in a way. I do think these are super gorgeous though. I feel like I would love to try the black pearls in like a New Year's Eve type of look. Next up we have the Hocus Pocus glitters, and these I believe came back somewhat recently, but they originally came out a couple of years ago for a Halloween release, and they're just basically these metallic kind of stars. This is one of the only ones from Cirque that are like a loose glitter as opposed to a charm. So these are meant to lie more flat on your nail, but because of the size, they could sort of start to lift maybe. I feel like it's just a little common when the shape is like, you know, they have these little long pieces, can lift and start to snag. But I remember seeing this trick that I was going to share with a future glitter. You can try to use a toothpick and sort of like warp the shape of the glitter to kind of give it a little bit of like a curve, and that way it'll, you know, if you place it here, it'll stick to the curve of your nail a little bit more. So not the easiest to do, but definitely worth trying if, you know, you just get tired of these things like sticking up. Then here we have the Rainbow Fish Rhinestones, which I believe came out with the Surfer's Crush collection. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but these are some more like half pearl shaped, but these have colored backings on them, so they just look like colorful bubbles, and they're just so cute, so fun. A few of these are clear though. Let me see if I can pick one of them up. You see, these clear ones are exactly what I wanted the birthday bubbles to be, just more of these where it just looks more like a bubble to me. Here I have them side by side so you can hopefully see the difference that I was saying, where just having like the white background I feel like takes away from it looking like a bubble. So yeah, my point was proven. If they just had made a set of these that were entirely clear for the birthday bubbles, it would just read more like a bubble to me. Then we have the Confectionary charms, and these came out with the Gourmand collection, and these are the tiniest little beads. They're like about the same size as the dotting tool tip here. So I believe these came out with the one tweezer tool here. These are very pointy, so just make sure you're careful with them. But I feel like this is the best way to kind of like grab them. Like, look at how tiny these are. And these are totally spherical too. They're not like the half shapes at all. So almost give you this like very textured, almost sugar kind of look, which I think is really fun, again, because I just love the colors of them, but they're just so tiny. I can't imagine trying to like select a few to do more detailed placement. I feel like it would almost be easier to just kind of do like a little swish of top coat and then sort of pour some of them on here or something, but these are gonna roll around all over the place, so it just seems like it's gonna be messy, but they're just so cute with the colors. I can't help but like them. And lastly, we have the Kawaii charms, which were the birthday charms a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly what year, but these are basically these iridescent type of glitters, and it's just a fun little mix of different colors and shapes and sizes. Very much giving like Y2K glitter charms or sticker earring kind of vibes with these. Some of them are negative space like hearts, but then there's stars and moons and other kind of shapes like diamonds. There's even these little like donut shapes here, which hopefully you can see that one. Just super cute. I used these before for a mani that I did, and I was like, oh my gosh, it just gives me like Sailor Moon vibes in the cutest way. So that's pretty much it for my Cirque charms. The only other thing that I have from Cirque are these dried florals, and these actually came out with the Surfer's Crush collection. I do think these are really pretty, but my main complaint, aside from there just being like 2 of each, is that some of these are just really big. Honestly, the majority of them are huge. Like even these, look at that. Like you would really have to like cut this up and use just like pieces of it. I do appreciate that they included a lot of like the greenery and stuff, but I think a couple of, or several years ago at this point, they sort of released a set of dried florals in like these containers, and they had red ones and yellow ones and maybe blue or purple ones, and they were just kind of a lot smaller than these. Like these are just like whole pressed flowers, which again like look pretty, but they just feel a lot less practical than like the smaller kind of florals that they had. So I do hope that they bring the other ones back, but honestly when it comes to dried florals, you can also easily like get any of them from Amazon. Even like the ones that I shared, I'm sure you can also find for super cheap. Speaking of Amazon, I do have a couple of things that I had bought from there like years ago. This is one of like my first sets that, you know, was more celestial. Obviously, definitely very much a fan of stars and moons here, but I feel like these are generally pretty big. Like the crescent moons here look bigger than the moons in the celestial charms in Cirque's. So, you know, I didn't end up using a ton of these, and obviously these I like never use because they're just massive. You know, it's like a nice little initial set, I guess, right, that you can like put together because you have different like stars and sparkles and even like these little studs. So there's variety here. Also have these two pots of like foil metallic kind of pieces. I'm forgetting like the proper name for them, but you can kind of see they're like the super thin, just like metallic flakes. This I feel is like a little bit more packed, but it's basically the same kind of size, just in gold. I feel like these are a lot more dainty than just using a gold flake topper or a silver flake topper, because these are also larger, but just generally thinner, so they just have this really like light quality to them. Been a long time since I used either of these, but I think if I remember correctly, I just had like a little brush that I would kind of use to sort of apply it, or maybe like an eyeshadow spongy applicator. It just makes it easier. This is not something that you would use like the charm tool to like pick up. At least I never did that. Just using a brush would be easiest, but yeah, these can definitely be very messy, even just like opening them up, so I don't want to do that. But hopefully you can see just from what's like stuck on the caps here, like the range of sizes. It can look really pretty. It's just a lot more dimensional than your standard flaky kind of toppers. The only other thing from Amazon is this like iridescent star kind of charm. I really like these because they're just these iridescent stars as opposed to holographic ones. With holo, they're usually like a silver kind of color, but as you can see, these are more like translucent and sheer, almost like they're made of cellophane, which, you know, I'm a big fan of. So yeah, just really pretty. You can definitely use like tweezers, or again like one of these types of wax tip tools to pick everything up. Again, for the size, similar to the Hocus Pocus glitters, I think it would be best to try to use like a toothpick to sort of warp them a little bit, just so they can like stick to your nail better, because I don't know, maybe it's just this specific shape, how it has like the little points of the stars, that they just, you know, come out and are more likely to lift on your nail. Speaking of star glitters, I do also have this twinkle glitter from What's Up Nails, and it's another iridescent star kind of glitter, but these are more of like the traditional 5-pointed stars, and they are just a little bit smaller than these like 4-pointed ones, I guess, which I don't know, I would call these more of like a sparkle shape than a star. But yeah, hopefully you can see the size difference between these. Because these do have the 5 points compared to the 4, I think because these are smaller, they just don't tend to lift as much, but they could cause some areas if, you know, you're placing them like along the sides of your nail, or just like any kind of sharp curve, but they generally don't snag nearly as much as the sparkle shape. The only other thing that I have from What's Up Nails is their Aurora pigment, and this is basically Aurora shimmer that I feel like is what you would use for chrome nails. I'm just like so scared of making a mess on this, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I did use this before for a chrome look over regular nail polish, and I think it looked really nice in my opinion. Like, I know sometimes the chrome effect, you know, doesn't look as great as it does when you do it with gel, but it is super, super gorgeous. But yeah, the downside is just that it's a little bit messy. You really want to be careful. You can already see I have some like on my, oh, well, these are like the silver sparkles, but whenever it comes to any of the like loose sort of pigments or metallic flakes, they can just be messy. So if you're a clumsy person, I don't know if I would suggest or recommend getting a product like this. I don't even want to think of the nightmare it would be of like spilling this on your desk and trying to clean it up. Lastly, I have two more of the loose glitters. I guess I'll save the best for last, but I have these regular little star glitters. Got these in a PPU with Lucky 13. They did a polish inspired by Kirby, and they came with these loose yellow star glitters, which I thought was really cute. I mean, I don't really, you know, use loose glitters often, and even though I do love stars, like you saw with the other charms, I usually prefer them in like a gold or iridescent kind of color, but these are still cute. But I would say my favorite glitters are the Sophia bat glitters that came out in the Sophia collection last year. These are just so tiny, and there were so many of them, so I don't remember the exact cost of this when it was sold separately. I feel like it definitely was a great price considering how many you get and just like how tiny they are. And I think in this video is where I did that trick of using the toothpick to sort of like warp the glitter, because as you can see, it's a little bit of a wider kind of shape. So if you just put it on your nail flat, it's just gonna like stick up at the edges. So the wings are gonna catch, especially on like any narrower nails. So warping them around a toothpick or an orange stick is definitely going to help make them just lay flat against your nail or against the curve of your nail. These are just so cute. They are just basic bat-shaped glitters, all in black and like a kind of metallic. You can see they're like a little shiny but not holographic. Just so perfect for Halloween. So that wraps up my nail art stickers and charms collection. As always, I can't wait to hear what you think of everything that I showed in today's video. I especially would love to know if you happen to have any of the charms or sticker sheets that I shared. I really should be using them more often because they are like really nice, good quality, they're cute. But I don't know, I just never reach for them because I'm just one of those weird people who, when it comes to sticker sheets, I just love the look of them when they're completed. And while they are so cute like on the nails, it just pains me to think that I won't be able to reuse them or anything. So you'll have to let me know if you're the same way, or if you're just like, no, I'm gonna use them, they're cute, whatever. And of course, let me know if you're a fan of charms, because I feel like a lot of people don't like them because they are like 3D, they can snag on things. Some of them are a little too big and don't really lay flat on your nails, so it can be annoying. I feel like they're not really in style like they used to be, but they can still be so fun. Like for sure, the seashell ones or like the pearls are definitely gonna be my favorites, even though again, I never use them. I still think they're so pretty. But anyway, make sure to leave me any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.